Hello friends, in this video tutorial, let us see how to get data in our SSAS tabular model from PowerPivot. So for the purpose of this tutorial, let us go to our Excel in which we have a blank workbook. Let's go to PowerPivot. First of all, let's save this. So let's save it in icon. Let's give it the name of Internet Sales PowerPivot, right? Because we want to get data from our internet sales database in this particular PowerPivot. So let's go to manage. Let's get data from SQL Server. Now let's copy the connection string. So name of the server is given. Now let's get data from our internet sales database. Next. Let's select internet sales fact table and its related tables. Now I don't want currency, I don't want promotion, don't want sales territory. Okay, so let other tables remain as it is. Let's say finish. So we can see it is importing 4 tables into PowerPivot. So now the import is complete and we can see the data of all these 4 tables in our PowerPivot, right? So let's save everything. Correct. Let's close it. Let's go to our folder. So we can see the size of the Excel file. It shows that a lot of data is present. Let's open it. Let's go to PowerPivot. Let's go to manage. Let us introduce a measure, right? So total sales will be a measure equals to sum of internet sales amount, enter. So we can see that we have added a measure over here. Let's save everything. Let's save the Excel sheet. Let's close it. So before closing it, we can understand that now we have got this 4 tables data over here and in PowerPivot, and in PowerPivot we have introduced a measure called total sales, right? So we have, and we can see this data in our relationship diagram view also. Okay, so all these 4 tables are related. Internet sales is the fact table and it is related to these 3 dimension tables. Okay, so now let me close everything. Let me close the PowerPivot and the Excel sheet, right? So the data is lying in this PowerPivot Excel sheet, right? Now let's go to our Visual Studio. Let's create a new project. Let's create the project and give it a name of Tabular 2, right? And this time let us select this option, that is import from PowerPivot. So let's click OK. So it will ask us that where do we want the workspace server to be. So workspace server will be over here. Now this is a SQL Server 2014 instance, but a tabular instance. I have created SQL Server 2014 tabular instance. So let us connect to our analysis services 2014 tabular instance. Its name is SSAS 2014T. Okay. So let us call that as our workspace server. So connection is okay. Now it is asking us which is the PowerPivot that you want to open. So let us provide it the path of the PowerPivot file that we have just created. So now we can see that it is now creating the tabular project for us. So now the tabular project is created. Model.bim file is now having all the data of the 4 tables along with the total sales, right? So we can save it. We can go to the properties. We can see the options for the properties, right? So let us click OK. Now right now in this instance there is only one database, and this is a temporary database for the workspace, right? So we don't have anything called Tabular project 2 database right now. This is the temporary one. So let us go and deploy it so that we get the permanent deployment for Tabular project 2. Let's deploy. So you can see that the deployment is complete, right? So let's close. Let's go to our database. Let's refresh. So now this is the permanent one. Okay, this deployment is permanent and this is temporary. Once we close SSDT, this will no longer be available, but this is permanent deployment and it will be available. So let's go to browse and see whether we have got our data or not. So we can see in internet sales we have got total sales, right? And we can see the total sales by, let's say, gender, and let's say marital status, right? So we are able to get the data, correct? So now let us say that we want to make some modifications in this model, right, through our SSDT. So we can do that. Let us say that we want to introduce another measure. So let's say we want to introduce a measure for average for internet sales, and in internet sales we want for sales amount, correct? So enter. So this is the average sales amount. Let's save everything. This is now we have added a average sales measure inside our SSDT. Okay, so if we go in this deploy this solution, then our new measure will be available in our this database. But if to verify that whether everything is coming from SSDT only, let us delete this. Okay, so let us delete this and let us recreate this database. Okay, in production environment you will never do this, but over here, just for verifying whether things are coming from SSDT or not, only for that purpose we have deleted the database. So, and we will do a redeployment of the database with this new average sales, right? So let's deploy it again. So things have been deployed. So let's go to our databases again, and this time this database will contain two measures. So let's go to browse, and now we can see that along with total sales, average sales is also present, right? So we can see that, and let's see the data as per gender, let's say, and as per marital status, right? So in this way we can import the data in SSDT from PowerPivot and deploy it on the tabular instance, as well as we can make changes in our model inside SSDT, and we can introduce changes and we can deploy the changes to the tabular instance, right? So I hope, friends, this video tutorial on how to import data from PowerPivot into SSDT and from there how to deploy it on our SQL Server tabular instance is useful to you. Thank you.